The rain came down hard against the windows of our Brooklyn apartment, drumming a steady rhythm that matched my heartbeat. The storm outside was wild, but the storm inside me was louder. I sat on the couch wrapped in a throw blanket, hugging a mug of lukewarm cocoa I hadn't sipped in 10 minutes. Across from me, Jake leaned back in the armchair, a book resting on his chest unread. He hadn't said a word in over 20 minutes, but the silence between us wasn't empty, it was dense. Heavy. Jake had been my roommate for almost a year. We were both in our mid-20s, trying to find our place in the city. He was calm, kind, always slightly mysterious. I was the overthinker, the worrier, the planner. We'd gotten along easily, until the night everything shifted. It started a week ago, when Jake came home with a bruise on his jaw. I panicked, asked if he was okay, who did this, where had he been? But Jake just smiled with that frustrating calmness of his and said, "It's nothing, Ellie. I just got caught up in the wrong place. I'm fine now." Fine? He was never just fine. That bruise, small as it was, lit something inside me. A realization I hadn't wanted to admit. I cared. Too much. And tonight, as the storm kept raging, something between us was unraveling. "Do you ever wonder," Jake said suddenly, eyes still on the ceiling, "what your life would look like if just one choice had been different?" I looked at him over the rim of my mug. Like what kind of choice? He turned to face me slowly. Like if I hadn't responded to your roommate ad that day. A flutter stirred in my stomach. I don't know. I probably would have ended up with a weirdo who stole my food. Jake smiled. "You still think I don't steal your peanut butter when you're not looking?" We laughed, but the moment didn't break, it only deepened. Jake sat up, running a hand through his dark, messy hair. His gray t-shirt clung to his chest, damp from the rain he'd walked through earlier. His eyes met mine and they didn't let go. "Ellie," he said, his voice lower now, more deliberate. "Can I ask you something and get a real answer?" I hesitated. "Sure." "Why haven't you ever asked me about last weekend? About what really happened?" I shifted uncomfortably. "Because I figured if you wanted to tell me you would." He nodded. "That's what I like about you. You don't force things." "But I do wonder," I admitted. "I just didn't want to push you." Jake stood and walked slowly toward the couch. Each step felt louder than it should have, like time was stretching. He didn't sit beside me right away. Instead, he stood there for a moment, watching me, his jaw tense. "I got into a fight," he said quietly. "Not the kind you think. It wasn't some bar brawl. It was with someone from my past, someone I thought I'd left behind." I set my mug down. He held up a hand. "It's okay. I handled it." But it made me think about how fast everything can change. And what matters when it does. He finally sat beside me, closer than usual. Our legs brushed, and I felt the heat rise up my spine. "I don't want to waste time pretending anymore," he said. "Pretending what?" I asked, even though I knew. He looked into my eyes and everything else disappeared. The thunder, the lights flickering, the city outside. "That I don't feel this," he said. "That I don't feel you. Every time you walk into the room. Every time you laugh at my stupid jokes. Every night I wonder what it would be like to hold you and not stop myself." My breath caught. "Jake." He moved closer, so slowly it felt like a dream. Our foreheads touched, and I could feel his breath against my lips, warm, unsteady, real. "I don't want to be your roommate anymore, Ellie," he whispered. "I want more." My heart pounded so loud I was sure he could hear it. I could feel the air around us shift, dense with emotion, tension, longing. I didn't speak. I couldn't. And then his fingers brushed my hand, gentle, uncertain, and moved up my arm. The touch sent chills through me. He moved closer still, his other hand cupping the side of my face, his thumb resting just below my cheekbone. Our breaths tangled, warm and rising. My eyes fluttered shut as he leaned in. And then he stopped. "I don't want to do anything you're not ready for," he said, his voice hoarse. I opened my eyes and looked at him. "I've been ready. I just didn't know if you were." With that, the space between us disappeared. His lips met mine, not forceful, not rushed, but deep and searching. Time didn't just slow, it vanished. We kissed like we had always known this moment would come, like we'd waited 1,000 days for it. His hand slid behind my neck, pulling me closer as if I might disappear. My fingers tangled in his shirt, feeling the tension in his body and the vulnerability in his touch. He pulled back slightly, resting his forehead against mine again. "I'm sorry," he murmured. "For what?" "For not saying something sooner." "You just did," I said. We stayed like that for minutes, maybe more. The storm outside raged on, but inside the apartment, everything had stilled. The next morning, sunlight poured through the windows. I woke up wrapped in the blanket, my head on Jake's shoulder. His arm was around me, fingers still loosely intertwined with mine. It wasn't a dream. We didn't rush anything after that. We talked a lot. We let ourselves feel things out loud. There were awkward moments, soft laughter, pauses filled with nervous glances. But there was no going back. Love had entered the apartment long before either of us admitted it. And now it had a place to stay. But even amid the sweetness, something else simmered beneath the surface. Jake had secrets. That Saturday afternoon, I found him sitting alone on the fire escape, staring into the clouds like he was watching memories unfold. His sketchbook lay untouched. "You okay?" I asked gently, stepping out behind him. He nodded, but the nod didn't reach his eyes. "Can I ask you something?" I said. "Of course." "That night, who hurt you?" He paused. "My brother." "I didn't know you had a brother." "His name's Cole. We used to be close. But he got into trouble, bad trouble. Drugs, debts, shady people. I tried to help. But helping him always meant drowning with him." "What happened last week?" "He showed up at my old job. Asked for money. I said no. We fought. He got physical. And I almost became someone I promised I wouldn't be again." Jake's voice cracked. "I didn't want you to see that side of me." I took his hand. "You're not that person anymore." He didn't say anything. Just looked at me like I was a lifeline. That night, he held me tighter than ever. But trouble wasn't done with us. 2 nights later, he didn't come home. At 2:13 a.m., my phone buzzed. Unknown number. "If you want him safe, tell him to stop hiding." I panicked. I called Jake. No answer. I drove through the city until instinct led me to the warehouse district, somewhere Jake had once said Cole used to hide out. And I found them. 2 shadows in the rain. Jake and a thinner man, Cole. "Jake," I yelled. He turned. "Ellie? You shouldn't be here." Cole grinned darkly. "So this is her. The girl who made you soft." Jake stepped between us. "Stay away from her, Cole." "You left family for her," Cole growled. "You think love fixes people?" "I think it saves them." Cole lunged toward me. Jake blocked him, eyes blazing. "Don't." Cole laughed bitterly. "Next time, you won't be so lucky." He vanished into the storm. Back home, Jake was silent. Then he whispered, "I never wanted you in this mess." I kissed his hand. "We're in it together." Jake started therapy. Got a better job. Stayed clean. I finished my novel. Jake was the first to read it. We argued sometimes over dishes and coffee and who left the closet light on. But we never argued about love. One night, standing on the fire escape under the stars, he said, "You changed everything." "No," I whispered. "You just let yourself be loved." Then he moved closer. Our breaths grew hot. And this time, his touch didn't lose control. It found forever. Back home, Jake was silent. Then he whispered, "I never wanted you in this mess." I kissed his hand. "We're in it together." Jake started therapy. Got a better job. Stayed clean. I finished my novel. Jake was the first to read it. We argued sometimes over dishes and coffee and who left the closet light on. But we never argued about love. One night, standing on the fire escape under the stars, he said, "You changed everything." "No," I whispered. "You just let yourself be loved." Then he moved closer. Our breaths grew hot. And this time, his touch didn't lose control. It found forever. Back home, Jake was silent. Then he whispered, "I never wanted you in this mess." I kissed his hand. "We're in it together." Jake started therapy. Got a better job. Stayed clean. I finished my novel. Jake was the first to read it. We argued sometimes over dishes and coffee and who left the closet light on. But we never argued about love. One night, standing on the fire escape under the stars, he said, "You changed everything." "No," I whispered. "You just let yourself be loved." Then he moved closer. Our breaths grew hot. And this time, his touch didn't lose control. It found forever. Back home, Jake was silent. Then he whispered, "I never wanted you in this mess." I kissed his hand. "We're in it together." Jake started therapy. Got a better job. Stayed clean. I finished my novel. Jake was the first to read it. We argued sometimes over dishes and coffee and who left the closet light on. But we never argued about love. One night, standing on the fire escape under the stars, he said, "You changed everything." "No," I whispered. "You just let yourself be loved." Then he moved closer. Our breaths grew hot. And this time, his touch didn't lose control. It found forever. Back home, Jake was silent. Then he whispered, "I never wanted you in this mess." I kissed his hand. "We're in it together." Jake started therapy. Got a better job. Stayed clean. I finished my novel. Jake was the first to read it. We argued sometimes over dishes and coffee and who left the closet light on. But we never argued about love. One night, standing on the fire escape under the stars, he said, "You changed everything." "No," I whispered. "You just let yourself be loved." Then he moved closer. Our breaths grew hot. And this time, his touch didn't lose control. It found forever.